Hey, dark roast drinkers. Meet Dunkin' Midnight, our darkest brew yet. If you can't remember what type of roast it is, just close your eyes. Yeah, it's that dark. Wait, scratch that. If you're driving, please keep your eyes on the road and locate the nearest Dunkin' to pick up the darkest, roastiest coffee we've ever had. Brewed with bold taste and rich chocolatey flavor notes. Dunkin' Midnight, a surprisingly dark roast from Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'.
Lowe's knows how to get your lawn ready for spring. And right now, you can get up to $20 off select Scott's Triple Action Fertilizer. Plus, get a Cobalt 40-volt 15-inch string trimmer or leaf blower. Your choice, $149, only at Lowe's. Get set for spring. Visit us in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 3/9 through 3/22. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hello. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. Let's get right to it. Purdue. Oh, my God. That is unbelievable. Purdue on Friday night. They took on, I have never heard of that in my life, Fairleigh Dickinson? It sounds like a gay porn star. And it is making his porno debut, Fairleigh Dickinson. What? What is a Fairleigh Dickinson? I've heard of Fairly Odd Parents. Wasn't that something that my kids watched? Fairleigh Dickinson? What the fuck? Not only did they win Friday, but they won last night too. Wow. Okay. It seems like last year, I think it was St. Mary's or something like that. Did the same deal. Got way. I don't even know. They might have even played in the final game, as far as I know. I forget this shit 1 minute after it happens. Live in the moment, I say. Fairleigh Dickinson takes on Purdue Friday. That is a 1 seed taking on a 16. There's only been one time that's happened where a 16's beaten a 1. We'll make it 2 because that's what they did. And, I don't know the first time that actually happened, but for the longest time, it was like it never happened. And then it happened not that long ago where a 16 beat a 1. But you got to understand, this is the equivalent of like the Kansas City Chiefs taking on a Pop Warner child football team and the children winning. That's how significant this is. This is more incredible than like the U.S. beating the Russians in hockey like a million years ago when this happens. You got to understand. If we take a look here. These are the standings from the most recent Northeast Conference from this year. Hang on a second. This is the guy who's got to fix my garage. Hello, this is Eric.
Hey, Eric, this is Dean from Bauma Brothers Garage Doors.
What up, Dean?
I have a work order here to come check out why your opener is being weird.
You got it. Yeah, man.
I plan on being out that way late morning, possibly early afternoon, sometime between 10 and 1.
You got it. It's open, ready for you. The opener is there's a shoe cabinet on the back wall to the left of it. There's 2 of them. It's the top one.
Okay. Oh, that's the one that operates the door I'm looking at?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. I will check it out, and if it's something that's not fixable, isn't worth fixing, I'll quote you a new opener.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You bet. Have a good one.
And you said Dean, right?
I'm Dean, yep. I think I was the one that was there last.
Oh, okay. All right, Dean. Thank you.
You bet.
Bye-bye. it's good to have a phone call with someone named Dean who's not a stalker. All right. Look at this shit. The Northeast Conference, Fairleigh Dickinson Knights men's basketball. They're not even the best team in the league. They were 10-6 in this league full of schools that no one in America has ever heard of. The champion or the first place team in that conference was Merrimack, excuse me, which I think was the name of an ironclad ship in some war like a million years ago. And then you got this school called Stonewall. They play in the same place where that gay uprising happened in New York City. You got St. Francis, so some Catholic shit. Wagner or Wagner, I don't know. I think it's a Nazi school. Another Catholic school, Sacred Heart. So, like, it's, the local priest coaches the team. St. Francis. And then Central. And then LIU. LIU had a rough conference year at just 1-15. Oh, my God. I think there's even more schools in this. I don't know what no, that's the Ohio Valley Conference. Okay, so there you go. And FDU, they were 21-16 this year. Merrimack won 11 straight to finish the year, so that's unbelievable. They started out 1-8. I don't know. Who gives a shit? All you need to know is that Purdue finished the year 29-6. They win the Big Ten. They're a number 1 seed. And what do? They fuck it up. And some school out of some state, somewhere, I think they're in the United States, beats Purdue. Wow. After the game, look at this. This is like a dry erase board, and someone punched that fucking thing. Look, I love this, how the March Madness banner is here, and you see this dude. This is the dude who probably punched it. Oh, my God. Yeah, absolutely. And then some of the comments underneath it. I'm surprised they were able to actually hit it, said this dude. How about this guy? No one in their locker room, no one was in their locker room to block it. Oh, Hezbollah gets involved. Oh, man. Oh, my God. So incredible. But not done because they win last night. I don't, at this point, I didn't watch 1 second of any game. It doesn't matter. I just like following it. But look at this. The leaderboard of the Eric Zane Show podcast tournament challenge bracket is once again topped out by radio voice Linda, who quietly raced to the top because she took the Spartans. Oh, my God. Well, I'd love to call her horrible names and make fun of her personally, but this is incredible. And she is set up. Okay, the only way this works out, I think, for her is if the Spartans continue to be red hot. This is remarkable. Spartans have an absolute shit pile season, all sorts of issues. Linda says, breaking news.
Breaking news!
Yes, Linda, you didn't know?
Breaking news!
She's at the tip top. Now, the only way she, I think, wins our tournament bracket is if the Spartans win out. I can't say for sure, but taking a peek at her bracket, Okay, Alabama, San Diego State, she called that. She did call Creighton. Everybody lost with Arizona, so that's okay. Houston, Miami still intact. Xavier, Texas. Look at this. She said, Xavier, hell yeah, you're going to be advancing. And Xavier was the 3 seed, so all right. No surprise there. Kansas, everybody picked Kansas. They're all out because Kansas loses to, I don't know who the fuck, Arkansas? Yes. Purdue, wait a second. Holy shit. You know what? Linda took Fairleigh Dickinson. Look at this. This is Linda's bracket. She took Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue. I haven't seen that from anyone. I think there was because as of right now, according to the internet sites that follow this, NCAA.com, there were 20 million brackets entered in all the different, including this one. Just over 2% of those brackets had someone like Linda picking Fairleigh Dickinson. Holy shit. I can't believe you picked Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue. Jesus. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. And then you picked Purdue to beat... No, wait a minute. No, you didn't pick Fairleigh Dickinson. You picked Purdue. That was all stupid. I can't read, apparently. You did pick Purdue. But anyway, who cares? The most important thing in your world is the fact that Michigan State is still alive because they fucking beat USC by 10. And then, oh my God, upset Marquette 69-60. Now they take on Kansas State. Very winnable game for the Spartans. And that is until Thursday. I think this is a great story, because Michigan State, with the horrible year that they've had with that lunatic shooting, killing people, for fuck's sake. I just hope that they don't realize, because Michigan State has had like a Jekyll and Hyde year where their first home game after that attack, they were awesome. But, then the rest of the season went on. They're kind of like up and down. So Tom Izzo, you got to give the guy credit. And I wasn't ready to give him credit, but obviously he listens to this show. Though he's known to get red-faced and his blood pressure to go up, he hasn't, at least up until now, beaten any of his players. But I think he may have threatened them with violence and hurt some people in the locker room. And that's what you need to do to be a winner. Okay? You have to be aggressive with these students and kick them and hit them with chairs and things like that. So I'm glad that Tom Izzo did that. Tyler says he has one Final Four team remaining. Well, most people only have two. All right. So there we go. The stage is set. Now we just got to wait just a handful of days, and then we'll get back at it. Looking at our bracket for the show. Again, Linda on top. But if the Spartans fall, that might be it for her. Whoever Rob the Rich is, he's in second. Your old pal Eric Zane's in third. Julie's in fourth. And then that might be Amy there. Tied for fourth. So there we go. Some of you didn't even fill out a bracket. Jesus. But the list goes on and on of people who had Purdue or Marquette winning it all or Arizona. But my God, here we are. Ready. Email grab bag. Changing gears completely. I heard from Miss Nikki, the GOAT lady. As Amanda's back, she says women's hockey got slaughtered. They blame Eric. That's not hockey. If it were women's hockey, they would be supported by the team, by the school. That's a club pickup game is what you went to see. That's a bunch of chicks. That's called beer league, what you were watching. Kenny says this still, well, yeah, we'll blame her, but it's still fun to make fun of her. You have to understand, if it's hockey, you have to know how to skate. You have to know, if you were to hold up the puck to the women, they wouldn't know what that is. All right? You got to convince these dumb lesbians to spend their time in a more constructive way. Aram says it's still collegiate hockey. It is not. And it's not collegiate hockey. The university wants nothing to do with them. It's people who are playing hockey but go to college. That is not collegiate hockey. Puck or penis, they wouldn't know what it is. ACHA is nothing. It is people getting together and getting their skates and going out. Trust me. It is full of losers. Okay? You need to convince these women to stop wasting their time and men playing pickup hockey. It is collegiate in name only. It is not collegiate hockey. No. End of the line. This is not a discussion. My God. I heart you too. Email from Miss Nikki. Funny story. Yesterday, I was on my work listening to the podcast because I miss a lot taking care of all the animals. Anyway, I stopped at Dunkin' to get a coffee, and I paused the podcast. I was messing with my phone at the drive-thru window. Window starts to open. I set my phone down. Apparently, I hit the play button, and as I'm staring dude in the face, he and I hear "smear the queer" blurting out from the phone / my car. Fuck! I'm trying to turn it down real quick. I look at the person in the drive-thru. He's black and definitely gay. I wanted to disappear. I guess I'm not sure if he heard it. I gave a $5 tip. Just in case, because I felt terrible. I hated you for about 3 minutes. I'm over it now. Happy birthday to your dad. Okay. As this show originates in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, Baldwin Ace Hardware, a beacon of DIY awesomeness in the Northland, Tyler says, well, at least he didn't hear when I say N-word pile, because that's part of the story. When we were kids, we'd play that game. Oh, dear God. Amanda writes, Aram, it's still go. First of all, Aram says, I think it might be a valid stepping stone to the NHL, which is him just trying to get Amanda talking, which... She's like, oh, someone wants to pay attention to me. I'm going to write about bitch hockey some more. She writes, Aram, hang on. Aram, it's still going on today. Word is SAULT. College is going to take it. But they're moving up to Division 1 next year, so it's wide open. My lesbian daughter graduates in December, so we're pretty much done. Yeah, so are you. Eat 600, you hag. You stupid idiot. You and your stupid bitch hockey. Shut up. Aram writes to it. He adds to it. SAULT. How do you say that? Salt College is tough every year. Like he cares. He doesn't. He doesn't care. He's just trying to get your stupid face talking. Kenny with a perfect, y'all exchange numbers and talk offline about it. Yeah, that's what you should do. Ugh, fucking horrible. We made the trip across the state yesterday or on Saturday. In fact, before I get to that, I mean, my God, Saturday was unbelievable. And I need more time to discuss it, so let me just do this. To the people who are enjoying the show on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, first of all, the show is available for download audio online every day. Of course, online. Audio is available every day wherever you download shows. Just search Eric Zane Show Podcast and subscribe to whatever podcasting platform, my show, that you want to listen to it on. Review it if you want, if there has that option for you, and off you go. If you want the show live, though, uninterrupted, you have to go to Twitch, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live, or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live, all one word, and you will find it. Of course, I have a Patreon if you want to support the show, ad-free, listener-supported Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. That's how this show stays viable. Chris says, Salt College was the best part of the rant. LOL. Yeah, I don't know. Are they misspelling salt? What is SAULT? He says we need these club hockey rants to be sponsored. Well, I hope you like them, because all I want to do is throw Amanda into a fucking wood chipper. Blue State Rob suggests that Aaron gets 600 too. Aram, yeah, he should, because he was the idiot talking to her about it. So you two can sit there and make love and talk lesbian hockey. All right. Facebook and Twitch brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. Twitter brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Follow the show on Twitter at Eric Zane Show, Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. YouTube, search Eric Zane Show. I'm there as well. Okay, so Saturday was setting up like this. First of all, these weekends of mine are getting more and more busy. It's not a time to relax anymore. And all right, I can handle that. But it's getting to be so much where I'm just going that when I do actually just sit down to do nothing, I find myself getting anxious that I'm not doing something. Isn't that weird? So the way Saturday is going to shake out is get up, do a million things podcast related, voice track a radio station that I'm probably going to get fired from, and then head down the road to my dad's. 2 hours away, not to my dad's, to my sister Sue's house. I shot a video on Facebook of the Meathead celebration. Okay, so Diana says, we're supposed to get some snow on the way back. Actually, on the way there was snow. And So much so that it was actually hard to see. We get out of Grand Rapids. It starts, settling down. Stand by. My face is still a mess. My head still congested. I've got to be getting back to West Michigan at a certain time in order to be in Muskegon for the West Michigan Ironmen football game. I'm on I-96. The snow is now flying. We're right around Lansing, Michigan. And there's a couple instances where to the left and right of where we are on the interstate, it's open fields, no woods whatsoever. And it's windy and cold. And the snow kicks up and blows across the interstate. And I'm always have a distance, especially on the freeway, between me and the car ahead of me. But I'm like, wow, this is rough. Then I have the GPS on. I'm following the blue line, and it says, get off at the Portland, Michigan exit. It's like saying, whatever you do, do not continue on 96. Before that, I noticed that it had said that I was going to be way later to my destination than originally thought. Like it said, time remaining, 52 minutes. And then suddenly it went like way past that. Something has happened. The phone is being able, all the other phones there's issues up ahead. And, that's a pretty good gauge that you aren't going to make it on time. And it's really hard to see. So I make the executive decision. We actually missed a turn at one point, and I had to go and loop around, and so it gave me a chance to call the folks at the football team. I said, yeah, dude, there is no way we're making it. So you're going to have to go to a plan B. They said, no problem. We'll take care of it. So then back to that exit. This is Portland. I go, yeah, and sometimes it'll tell you you can go on the path that you're going on, but it's got to be a little bit more of a delay. Like it says 6 minutes. But what it didn't know that was going to translate to about 10 hours. There's still cars there now because I did exit, thank God, and traveled through this small town of Portland and literally went around where the trouble was and got back on 96. And I did not know what was happening at the time, but there was a 150 car pileup. Oh, fuck. Oh, because of that blinding snow. And then the people would start to, all of a sudden, then people didn't have their lights on or whatever, and you cannot see in front of you. But 100 feet ahead, it's stopped. And then people just started smashing into each other. And then so people get out of their cars and they're hearing boom, boom. And luckily, no one was killed. A lot of people were able to slide off and not damage their cars. But, oh, my God, I even knew a person who was in it. Who texted me and said, I'm in this, and was there for hours and hours and hours. Wow. So I tell you what, man, bullet dodged. We made it through, no problem. Got to where I needed to be late, safe and sound. But prior to that, Justin's mom, because it was Eric, Diana, Jackie, Justin. Justin's mom texts from way far away. She lives in West Branch, Michigan. And she's like, are you guys on 96? There is a catastrophe there. It's whiteout conditions. Have you heard? Are you experiencing that? And we were. And I go, hey, text her back and say that, yes, we are, but we're going real slow and it's cool. We'll get you there safe, get them there safely. And Jackie's like, no, don't worry about it. She always does that. And I'm like, you are not going to promote harmony with the mother-in-law if you that's her job to be worried. I go, you should text her right away back because you don't want to. Parents worry, you dumb shit. The fuck is wrong with you? She's fine. I'm like, come on, man. I'm team mom in that position. Prior to that, Friday night, Bosco's Pub. Okay, stand by. Who's who of fantastic people dropped by. Amy, I see you there. First customer of the night. Came in, picked up some food. Freaking cutie patootie. Kevin Kuipers is there with his dad, Eddie Money, and his lovely mother. By the way, your dad's salad. If that steak was a little rare, hey, I'm just telling you, I saw that. And I was like, I said to the boss, I go, hey, man, I know this guy. He wants it medium well. He doesn't want this. This is medium rare. What the fuck are you doing? Boy. Got a steak salad. Okay, Kevin, I guess your dad did not detect any issue. That's good. For the record, I didn't want that salad to go out. I wanted him to recook that steak. But if he was happy, I'm happy. Everything was great. The crowd was packed. Now listen, as I've told you before, you got the two main men, Doug and Dougie. That's a father-son combo. I help. I am a helping hand. I am the assistant to everybody. Blue State Rob says, reenactment of that hell or high water steak scene with the old lady. Oh, my God. Yeah, there's Doug, Dougie, and Doug. Doug third. That's Dougie's kid. So I got Doug and Dougie. And these two, this is a father-son team. Now, I know from experience. And Amy says, I about fell over when Big Doug came out and said with a straight face, are you here for the orgy? Yes, because I told him I announced a Bosco's orgy. And I was like, Jesus, Doug. Now, a father cannot tell a son anything. We all know this. Anytime I try to tell my son anything, it is met with, you're wrong. So I get to see the dynamic between Doug and Dougie. I don't say shit. I'm just dropping the fries. I'm assembling the burgers. Okay? I have to know my role on a busy Friday night. It was great. But watching these two operate, I'm like waiting for them to throw down. Oh, my God. Incredible. All good, though. And then we also had Andrew. Wait a minute. David. Wait a minute. Who came by? I wrote this down. I don't want to screw it up. Yeah, David and Andrew came by. Father-son team. It was awesome. Place was packed. Everybody had fun. Watched damn basketball games. Drank. Had a good time. Off we go. That's what I mean. These weekends are just nonstop. And then at my house Sunday. Okay? That was a birthday celebration for the Queen of the Forest. And we had everybody. Everybody there. Kenny writes, dads know nothing. Are you sure you need to make an elementary school science project for your college class, son? Son, trust me. Bastard. Everybody at my house. Now, this is absolute joy to me. Eric, Diana, Jim, Aubrey, grandkids, Jackie, Justin, Madison, and Ash. Not to mention my best friend in the whole world. He is my family, the one and only Fast Jimmy, who I would kill for. And ladies and gentlemen, you need to know something. This man is single. Okay? He's 45 years old. He has 2 lovely children, middle school aged. This man is a worker and an earner because he works so much. It's not like he's a millionaire or anything like that. But this is probably the sweetest, most polite person that has walked God's green earth. I can't give any more of a pedigree to anyone alive more than I can this man. He has virtually no hair on his head. I'm just letting you know. I'm just giving you, but he is a handsome devil. In fact, if I was gay, I would absolutely put his ding dong in my mouth. But I love him so much. I love him forever. And I want him to be happy. He is divorced. He did not divorce his wife. She gave him a curveball, and that was that. I don't even know the particulars. I've never asked. All I know is that it did not work out, and that was not his plan. And he is the sweetest, kindest person that I know. I might try to hook him up with radio voice Linda, because I know there's not that much of an age gap. You know, I think Linda is like my age, right? Aren't you my age? Because if you're that much older, then you're an old hag, and I'm not gonna introduce you to him. But 45, if you're even just a little bit over 50, I think you're still in a safe space. So let me work my magic. She's 55. No, too much. too much. Nope. No, I'm not getting people that are 10 years apart. No way. It is not. It has to be appropriate. I wouldn't do that. No. Now, if Diana dies, perhaps, but that's not going to happen anyway. So, anyway, what a time we had. It was absolutely fantastic, man. Ordered pizza, the Jets. You can order the Jets pizza with all the corner pieces. Oh, my God. The corners are so great. They're the absolute best. They might as well just make the corners, then, bake them and then throw out the other pieces and put all corners in there. I think that's what that is, even, right? I don't know. But I had a lot of corners, and that made me happy. Let me tell you something. When it comes to corned beef, I'm a big fan of corned beef, and that was the day before his eating, okay? The only time I have corned beef, and yes, it is Detroit-style pizza. The only time I have corned beef is St. Patrick's Day, but I need to do this more often. My stepsister, she, it's called Wegley's. I've talked about it before. It's the best corned beef you can possibly buy. Some dude in Detroit, it's even hard to get. You can't even order it. You got to actually go there and get the shit. And this big giant piece of corned beef. And so you put it into a giant pot, and then you bring the water to a boil, and then you bring it down. And then it just simmers. And then during a portion of that simmering process, you put whole potatoes in there. And carrots. And then the last thing you put in about 45 minutes before you serve is cabbage. And you just literally cut wedges of cabbage and gently place them in there so they don't fall apart. So then when you serve that, You're gently sitting all these vegetables on one tray and then all of the corned beef sliced on another tray. Now, the way I do this is you take the slice of the corned beef, you take the whole potato, you take 2 whole carrots, and then you throw butter on them, and then you slice all of that and mix it together. It's almost like you'd be better off putting it in a mixing bowl and just like stirring it around. Put that on the plate, put the corned beef on there, slice in the corned beef, and it is like a hash. It's like corned beef hash. Oh my gosh. You got the King's Hawaiian rolls. You take those and you're doing a sop action with this. Oh, incredible. You all right over there, Daisy? Did you just croak? Can you imagine if that happened? It'd be the worst thing ever. Hang on. Incredible. Absolutely great. Hey, Daisy. What's up, honey? What up, baby doll? Check. Test. Zenith. Smash. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, after this show gets done, I do another episode of the Eric Zane Show Patreon bonus podcast. It accompanies this one. It is part of listener-supported, ad-free Patreon. Thank you for being part of it. More podcasting each and every day. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. First person to raise their hand and says on the chat right now that they want to play Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia tomorrow gets in. That is part of Patreon. That reminds me, I got to send off some money to Tio. Add that to my list of things to do today. I've got so much to do. Oh, my God. All these little tiny fires I have to put out. All right. First person on the chat right now who says, I'll play. You play Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia on Patreon for cash tomorrow. Don't all volunteer at once. All right. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Unfortunately, I missed the West Michigan Ironman game because of the weather. But that team, of course, owned by Mario Flores of the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I guess it came down to the final play, and the team won. So that is cool. They took on the Battle Creek Meth Heads. I'll have more tickets to the final 2 games for you to sit in the Eric Zane Show podcast section. Blue State Rob will take on Dale. All right. Anyway, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. If you're in the market for a mortgage, reach out to Mario. 231-332-6505. That's 231-332-6505. Whether it's a refi, getting money out of your home to pay off a high-interest credit card bill or whatever the heck. Maybe you want to go on a trip. Maybe it's your first mortgage. Maybe it's your 10th mortgage. Mario can help. Available anywhere, his services in the U.S. with the exception of South Carolina, Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii. Thank you, Mario. NMLS number 3035. TAG, Accounting and Tax Services, 616-301-9516. Get your taxes done. You got less than a month until the tax deadline. 616-301-9516. TAG, Accounting and Tax Services. This is so simple. Just call, say Eric sent me, and you're in business. That's it. And this is the sponsor that you can utilize TAG's Troy Ginzer's Accounting and Tax Services skills from anywhere in the U.S. 616-301-9516. Thank you. Okay. And then Sarah Honda Granville, SERRA. Sarah Honda Granville. Go there and test drive a brand new Honda vehicle today. The redesigned Accord is there right now, and you can they're all there right now. Test drive a brand new Honda vehicle today. In fact, they've got several Accords on the lot right now that you can actually drive away in today. Otherwise, you pick out what you want on your car. A couple weeks later, it shows up, and there you go. They also have Michigan's largest selection of certified pre-owned cars. These are under warranty cars. They're like new, and you can check them out at Sarah Honda Granville. They also have a website, sarahhondagranville.com, if you want to root around on there. All right. Don't go anywhere. Your old pal Eric Zane has to go tinkle. All right. A lot of radio in your old pal Eric Zane's future. Today, on America's favorite oldies radio station, Big 101.3, your old pal EZ is filling in for Allie Mack. Okay, so, like right when this show gets done. In fact, there's no secret. It's all voice tracked. I just sit right here. Long, cool woman in a black dress by the Hollies finishes. And I say, Big 101.3, the fun that you know. Eric Zane with you. Here's the Monkees. I haven't recorded one of the voice tracks. Not a one. So I actually have to be done with this show like 1 or 2 minutes, like shutting it down 1 or 2 minutes before 10 so that I can quickly go ahead and get my first voice track in the books and put some time between the real time and, Rob suggests I make a couple of the voice tracks now. I don't know if I can. Hang on a second here. Let's see here. Browser video. Okay. Window capture. I don't think I can. No, I can't do it. That's okay. No big deal. Aram says, a good question from Who Are These Zanes is, at what point did Eric become good at radio? Now, that's an interesting question. And I think that's what we brought up on Who Are These Zanes. He hilariously points out all historical evidence from the tapes is terrible. And I think we discussed it, Ben and I, that the doing mornings with Greg and Chris, at one point, we just stopped rushing through everything and trying to, you have to learn how to just kind of keep it, just take it easy, slow down. Instead of fill every waking second of the time that you're near a microphone with sound. It's okay to breathe a little. It wasn't even that good when Greg made him take over the board. Yeah, I don't think it's ever gotten good. I think that's what we're learning here. It still is a big pile of shit. At least from my end. Whatever. I'll take it. All right. Josh says, fill every second with the 1-800 number at ludicrous speed. He still does that. Greg, still to this day, for some reason, his brain operates in a weird way where he just says the phone number and no one even calls ever to begin with. They might text, I guess, but they could be reading Hot Wings could drop dead and they could be announcing that Hot Wings is dead and that they're sad and giving funeral information. And Greg will go, oh, 1-800-947-3970. Oh, I said the number. It's remarkable. It's gotten worse. Chris says, I happened to see the film Cool as Ice this past week. Why? Easy Rhymes sounds identical to Vanilla Ice from 1994.
89.1 WPHS with the Public Enemy. We're going to keep it right here with Gonna Get Yours. That was 2 in a row by the Beastie Boys. Rock Hard and She's on It. Now here's Public Enemy.
It was on riff tracks. Okay.
2 in a row by Run DMC on 89.1 WPHS. This is Easy Rhyme. We'll be with you till 10 o'clock. We're going to keep it going with Eric B. and Rockin'. By the way, give me a call at 751 FM 89. Eric B.
I don't know what the fuck is up with that. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so that's at 10 o'clock today. And then, okay, get this. I was asked to appear on the Wood AM or Wood Radio morning show. And when I was first asked to do it like a month and a half ago, they said, all right, yeah, it's going to be on Monday the 20th, the week of Monday the 27th. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 27 to 31. I said, sure, of course. And I filled in that one day a couple weeks ago. No big deal. And so, all right, now I'm doing this. I get, Bakita reaches out to me. And he says, hey, man, we want to make sure you're Eric Zane for HelloFresh. You're going to save 60% plus free shipping. Pay attention. Here are the options for you. Take the family out to eat, and then you're bankrupt by the end of the month. That's out. Okay, I'm going to plan a bunch of meals. I'm going to do research, hours on end, go to the store, buy all this stuff. Somebody's going to crash into my car. I'm going to get home. Nobody's going to like it because I didn't do the recipe right. The instructions weren't clear. It goes to waste in the fridge. Blow even more money. And then everybody thinks you're a terrible preparer of meals. Or you can call upon America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh. I would just like you to try this. You know, I mean, we go way back, you and I. So just try this just once. Go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60, and then you'll use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. So the box comes to your door after you make the various checks of what you like and how much food you actually want to get, and then let it play out. It comes to your door. The instructions are perfect. They're on individual cards. All of the portions are measured so that nothing goes to waste. You plate the food, you pass it along to the family at the table, and they're like, this is fantastic. I am not kidding you. It is a life game changer. HelloFresh. Again, you go to HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60, and that's 60% off plus free shipping. Now, this offer does not last forever, so now is the perfect time. As I'm talking to you, log on, do it, sign up, and then get ready to have some fun and be admired by your family and friends. And make sure you tell me how it goes. Reach out to me on email or whatever. Scream at me when I'm running down the street and tell me that I was right, because I am right. HelloFresh is fantastic. I swear by it. I love these folks. HelloFresh.com/Zane60 and use the code Zane60 for 60% off plus free shipping. They didn't become America's #1 meal kit by doing anything other than being the best. Thank you, HelloFresh.
Lowe's Lowe's knows how to get your lawn ready for spring. And right now, you can get up to $20 off select Scott's Triple Action Fertilizer. Plus, get a Cobalt 40-volt 15-inch string trimmer or leaf blower. Your choice, $149, only at Lowe's. Get set for spring. Visit us in-store or online today because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 3/9 through 3/22. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Welcome to BreezeLine, where you'll say, ta-ta T-Mobile, because we've got more reliable home internet that's a whole lot faster. In fact, 10 times faster. No, seriously, because we have real internet backed by our fiber-powered network. And T-Mobile, well, they just have a 5G cellular network. So act now to get superior home internet. Find your perfect speed with prices starting at just $19.99 a month for 24 months. Terms and conditions apply. Go to breezeline.com to learn more.
Good to go. And, of course, I'm going to say, yeah, everything's fine. He goes, yeah, I got you down from Tuesday the 28th, not Monday. Tuesday. I want to make sure that all the information was given to you correctly. You're going to be on Tuesday the 28th to Friday the 31st. I'll do Monday. And then the following week, you're going to be on Monday to Wednesday or some shit. And it was all confusing as fuck. And so I had no idea of any of that. So I just wrote back, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'll be there. So that's going to make our pal Troy Finholm, Finholm, from Barry County. He sucks Darleaf's dick. It's going to make him butthurt, and he's going to send another email to my boss. Now, my boss knows who he is and thinks he's F rhymes with bag, but nevertheless, I don't give a shit. Hello to first-time chatter, GY Ampy. Hello to you. No, it's not a MAGA show from 9 a.m. to noon. It's news, weather, traffic, sports, 3-minute interviews, bunch of commercials. Do it again. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's how the show works. You'll love it. So for that, those 6 or 7 days, I do that, and then I come home and do this. And then I'm exhausted. I am worn the fuck out. This is going to be the last time I did this. All right? The last time I did this, I was reminded how difficult it would be if I was on the air on like LAV. Remember, I was like, I want to get that LAV job, which thank God I didn't get. Oh, man. I just don't think it's possible. The only way I could pull it off is if I was able to stay here in this house. And nobody wants that. I mean, I want it, but nobody else would. So, but doing it for just a handful of days is going to be tough, but I'll be able to do it. Precisely, Rob. He says it's 10-10 wins in Grand Rapids. Yes. Okay. Now, there is plenty of news of the day that I must get to. And you know what? I have heard from several people. Not a ton, but several. Stand by. That they get their news from me. Okay, that's great. Now, you got to understand that I'm just cherry picking and plagiarizing what I've heard and what I've read. I try not to just read it to you because I hate that. I hate listening to a show, and I do it sometimes, but I try to keep it in my own words as best as possible. So here's what I can understand. This is what I gather about Trump. Trump announces, hey, I am going to get arrested on Tuesday. In Manhattan, the district attorney there in the state of New York, for some period of time, has had a grand jury seated. And if anybody says to you this is a witch hunt against Trump, you'd be right. Because who gives a fuck if he gave hush money to some whore? Now, do I care if Trump gets arrested? Of course not. Would I love it if he did? I don't care. I don't think this helps him or hurts him in any way. But the circus that will follow if he is indicted and then charged and then convicted. Now, I did learn this. Trump giving money to Stormy Daniels through his lawyer to shut her up about the whole affair thing back in 2016 is not illegal. Where it gets illegal, I guess, and only a misdemeanor, is if he tries to say that was, if those charges are related to the campaign somehow, and not a felony. What the grand jury is looking at, and they're not done yet, is to see if somehow there is another set of circumstances that would lead to him actually being involved in a felony. And if that is the case, and then all of that is sealed to be opened at a later date in order to process this. But he would have to show up there, be arrested, fingerprinted, released, and then he'd face a trial. Maureen says, I hope the Eric Zane Show podcast gets the exclusive interview from Trump himself when he is arrested. Blue State Rob says, I wonder if this is considered fraud. Big fraud. Chris says it's going to be a huge boost for his supporters. Of course it will. The idea that Trump having this, swirl around him, and then he's announced, protest, we got to protest. I don't know if you saw that. That has some people like, oh God, what's gonna happen here? The DA in Manhattan says there's no way we're gonna be intimidated by this. The DA is Alvin Bragg. He offered a retort to Trump's message Saturday urging supporters to protest. Now, when Trump says protest, I mean, that opens up a Pandora's box. Trump supporters don't seem to be the type to me to just go and say, hell no, we won't go. Hey, ho, Alvin Bragg has got to go. No. That's what gay people do. And they just wave signs and go, hey, knock it off. Trump supporters will beat the fuck out of you. So who knows what he wants to have happen. But this DA says, look, we've got 1,600 people that work in the office, and we're not going to be intimidated by this fuckstick. NYPD is involved. This DA he's kind of like, as with all of our investigations, we'll continue to apply the law evenly and fairly and speak publicly only when appropriate. And he says you are not above the law, and there's all sorts of shit going on. But, frankly, I don't know if you saying you're going to speak only when appropriate, the fact that Trump knows about this is because you're leaking information. And then the question, is this a witch hunt? Well, yeah, of course it is. Well, who gives a fuck about this charge? This is absolutely a witch hunt. I don't care. Believe me, I don't care. But I don't know if what the motive is behind this. I do not believe that the motive is just to uphold the law. They're trying to get this guy. And I think that will only add to the legend. of Trump. It's time, Trump wrote. We just can't allow this anymore. They're killing our nation as we sit back and watch. We must save America. Protest, protest, protest. Oh, fucking shit. All right. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. My God. Donut Dan says, I thought the word protest meant burn down the city these days. Blue State Rob says, coming from the Manhattan DA, that would involve NYPD and the Secret Service, maybe even the U.S. Marshals. Blue State Rob says, if there's protests in New York, can I be the Eric Zane Show podcast correspondent? Yes. If you want to drive into the city and go in front of that shit show and be our roving reporter, absolutely. And then you have to interview supporters and protesters. O'Neill is making a hell of a lot of noise. Listen to this. I'm going to turn up the mic. He's having a dream. You can't see him, but his little legs are running. Can you guys hear this? Okay, I think he's coming out of it now. You can hear Daisy snoring like a damn chainsaw. You okay, buddy? You okay? That's always so funny. More craziness. This time, have you been following the story about Buster Murdaugh? I keep saying it wrong. Murdaugh. Buster Murdaugh. Okay, so the red-haired one, who I just don't trust that kid just by his hair. Years prior to all this shit, 2015, a teenager in South Carolina was found dead. And he went to school with Buster. Okay. He was a 19-year-old nursing student found lying in the middle of a rural road in Hampton County, not far from the Murdaugh property in Colleton County, July 8th, 2015. He died from blunt force trauma to the head. They suspected he was hit by a car. And they're like, yep, hit by a car, hit and run, open and shut. At first, they said, yep, it was a hit and run. Investigators later considered it a homicide, though, based on evidence at the scene. They had a funeral. The kid was buried. Now the rumor is swirling, and Buster even came out and said, fuck no, I had nothing to do with this kid's death. That Buster and him were sucking each other off. All right? Buster's like, I didn't suck anybody off. And I did not have him killed. And I had nothing to do with this. This is a terrible rumor. He's like getting out in front of it and saying, fuck you. No way. Now, I don't know whether or not this kid was that Buster had anything to do with it. I have no idea. But now it is a cottage industry the world wants every single person with that same last name arrested. So they're going after great grandpas and grandmas and cousins everywhere. Everyone on the planet who has that name is being accused of murder as we speak. This one, I don't know. But the mom of the kid who was killed, the 19-year-old young man, she was saying all along, yes, my son has been sucking dick for years, and her and Buster sucked each other off. And I believe that he was killed by Buster or someone associated with this family. And at the time, everybody said, "Shut up, you old bat," and nobody cared. But because of the popularity of the trial and the coverage in the trial and all that shit, and, you know, the documentary, this has been a new light has shined on it. And it was a perfect opportunity for the mother of this 19-year-old to launch a GoFundMe, and she needs money to exhume the kid, the 19-year-old, the remains, and have an independent medical examiner review the cause of death. And they've got their fingers crossed that they're going to see more information, more evidence in the remains that will point them in the right direction as to what happened with the death of the kid. So that's very interesting to me. Sandy Smith has impatiently waited for a conclusion of her own, but she's been waiting for 8 years. Like I said, dude was found dead. Here he is. This is the kid right here. Look at him with his mother. That's my show plan. That is not his mother. Jesus. Hang on. I swear, my God. Unbelievable. What is going on here? Is this right? No. Is anything right? Is my life right? No. You know why this happened? This happened here because I was, there it is. That's what I want. Okay, now this is him. Look at him. That's his mother. She's just loving the kid. Normal mom son deal. And she's she's been looking for the answer for years. The unsolved murder mystery received new life in July of 21 when the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division opened a new investigation into Smith's homicide. With the spotlight dimming on Alex Murdaugh, the Smith family feels it's time to shine new light on the murder case, so the GoFundMe was started to raise the money. As of March 10th, she organized it. The fundraising goal was $15,000, but in a week, the page stated it had $41,000 in it. We feel it's critical to seek a new goal, an independent exhuming and autopsy, states the page. We need a new unbiased look at his body and an accurate determination of his cause of death based on facts. There was no debris in the road, and his injuries were not consistent with a hit and run. Wow. I wonder how much this is raised as of now. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money. And yes, he was an LGBTQ teen, and then the idea is, and there's a discussion on the news between people who knew both people that went to school with these two, and said, yeah, there was a lot of talk about Buster and this kid having a big suck fest on regular interval. You turn around and Buster and this dude would be giving each other hand jobs. So if that's now, Buster's saying, no way, man, that is not me. He's denying everything. Alex Murdaugh. I can't say it. Murdaugh. I just got to say Murdaugh. Let's see. What is it? I want to see the size of this GoFundMe now. Stephen Smith. GoFundMe. I don't know if it's Stephen or Stefan. I always mess that up. as of right now, $64,000. So the mom's got plenty of dough to do that. And she's going to have some left over to hire a great lawyer. As now the story is starting to percolate and more people are talking about it. But for the people who think that Buster was involved, by the way, I have not yet watched that documentary. I said this weekend I'm watching the documentary. I also said I was going to start to watch Zombie Pedro Pascal HBO show that I've forgotten the name to. I didn't watch shit. This is what I mean. It's like the days run together. I don't do anything that's relaxing. I'm just go. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you that's how it is. So please don't ask me if I've seen a show. I haven't watched anything. And I want to dive into the Murdaugh thing. Murdaugh, not Murdaugh. Murdaugh. Like there's a K at the end of it, asshole. Murdaugh. My God. Maureen says the Murdaughs got it shut down without investigation. That poor mom. Didn't the brother, because when you watch the Murdaugh documentary, isn't it revealed that the mom and the dead son, they were also shitheads too? And people think that they killed somebody. Is that right? Or am I getting that wrong? Is the whole family they just go around and where, we might play like Mexican dominoes here at the house? They go around and just kill people? Is that what I'm being led to believe about the Murdaughs? Murdaughs? Docs? God damn it, Murdaughs! Paul killed someone driving drunk in a boat. Well, who did the mom kill? Did the mom kill anybody? I don't care if I haven't seen it yet. Spoil it for me. I want to know. You need to get me up to speed on this shit. Okay, so Paul killed somebody. The mom killed, the housekeeper. That's right. I remember hearing about that. Well, we don't know that, but they've said that she might have. Okay. So Buster clearly did this. He sucked the kid off and then he killed him. Very confusing. All right. Thank you to the Kent County Health Department. If you or someone you know or love has a little one who has not yet been vaccinated, you can get all of the vaccinations you need to be healthy for little or no cost if you qualify. We're talking measles, mumps, rubella, pertussis, whooping cough, meningitis, Gardasil, and things like that. Do some of you maniacs who did not get your kid vaccinated, has that now bled over into these other vaccinations for you that I just mentioned? Have you gone completely to the dark side? And you're like, I don't want my kid getting that poison to keep him from getting measles and mumps and rubella. That's clearly the work of the devil. I'm stupid. I get it. Not everybody's going to get the COVID vaccine, but has that crept into the rest of your life now? Are you like shunning medicine generally? Don't do that. End the cycle of stupid and get your kids vaccinated. Reach out to the Kent County Health Department, 616-632-7200, or go to their website, accesskent.com/health. You're not going to believe this. This is the first time this has happened. We have again had to reschedule the TC Paintball War. It was scheduled for April 16th. That already was a reschedule. But now something else has come up. Not on my end. It doesn't matter. These things happen. We've moved it again to Sunday, April 30. Sunday, April 30 is the new date for TC Paintball War number 22. Sorry for the confusion. It's the way it goes. Otherwise, book an event for you or your friends. tcpaintballgr.com. Could be workplace team building, getting the kids in the neighborhood together. You and your bro friends, you and your lady friends. Go have some fun at this amazing destination for entertainment, TC Paintball. Thank you. I was tipped off on a story that Sarah Rook Rouge tipped me off on this story. And how did that happen? How did this even happen? I think it was because I was talking about the raccoons. Remember the raccoons? I was talking about the guy had like 30 raccoons on his porch and he's feeding them all. She was reminded that in my neck of the woods, not far from here, Ravenna, Michigan, there was an incident like 20 years ago that is finally coming to a close involving a raccoon. Like 20 years ago, there was a family that had a raccoon for a pet. Now, as much as I thought it was adorable that the guy was on his porch feeding raccoons, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to have a raccoon in your house. Maybe if you're like an adult, but if you have a child in the house, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea. 20 years ago, and because of this incident, and this is horrible, this young lady who is alive today and trying to put all this behind her was in her crib, and she was only 3 months old. It's a sweetheart little child, 3-month-old Charlotte. And the mom and dad had a raccoon. And they were probably doing meth or something. I don't know. They got their parental rights terminated from this, and the child was put into a different home, and new parents raised her, and they did a wonderful job. But sweet little Charlotte is in there, and she's got a bottle. You know how sometimes you give a kid a bottle while laying in bed? Well, the raccoon wanted to get at the bottle, and it's they wrote, the raccoon was attracted, they think, by milk that had spilled on the kid's face from the bottle that was left propped in her mouth. Well, according to the article, now this is going to hurt some of you because this is where it gets really bad. This is not good. Anytime, and it's starting right this second. So if you're triggered by horrible things, you don't want to be here. Bounce ahead. Because right now, I'm going to describe to you that the raccoon went into the crib and ate the kid's face. Like, and they're like, oh, what's going on? I don't know. Like, she's crying. The raccoon was able to eat nose and cheek all the way to the ear. Like, it's gone. It's in the raccoon's belly. So the raccoon is having a face feast there. Holy fuck. Well, the kid survived. This is unbelievable. And that put into motion this young person's recovery. And I think Sarah was telling me, I think, what did she said to me that this young person who is now like 20, she wrote, listening to the raccoon, the story, Patreon about the raccoon guy. Holy crap. Do you recall the story of the 3-month-old baby girl had her face eaten off by her parents' quote pet raccoon? She lived in Ravenna. Obviously, her parents lost custody, and she's had several surgeries. Poor baby girl. She's 21 today. So she sent a link of this kid. And this is back when she was 14. So they were like finishing up the surgeries. And I think at this point, after this went down, they ended up doing like a few more surgeries, but they were able to actually like put her back together again, amazingly. what they did was there's one particular doctor who works in Detroit. He has a name I can't even pronounce, but he's world renowned for his ability to repair issues like this. And he's the type that he'll go and harvest little bits of material from your body. And he'll then, like in this case, he would open up this girl's arms and put like cartilage under the arm and then put the arm back together. And then it would grow. And then he would remove it from the arm and craft like the face. So he's had to like remake the nose and the ear and the lips, everything. He's an absolute miracle worker to be able to give this chick a face after the raccoon chowed the girl's face. Corey says, is she hot now? It's a horrible question. And, I don't think that that's being sensitive in any way, shape, or form. Audio check, video check. Here we go.
And she suffers from depression, and it's very hard for her to, like I said, it's hard for her to cry, and it's hard for her to show her emotions, except anger a lot of times, And one thing that they asked her when she first had her surgeries is, what do you want? And she said, I just want to be normal like everybody else. She wants to be able to walk in her room.
Look at now. What you see here is Mark's. This is years ago. Okay. So I don't have a current picture, but look at what he was able to do. I mean, this was gone. It wasn't there anymore.
And they still do, even though she's beautiful. They still do. And that's I want people to see past this.
Yeah. Poor thing. Again, that was years ago. But I just found it incredibly interesting that this doc was able to do what he did. If you look in the article, these are her arms where they would actually position the various, in order to grow the new tissue in there. Took cartilage from her ribs and molded it into a C shape and placed it under the skin of the forearm where it grew for 3 months with additional tissue forming around it before it was removed and attached to her head, replacing the ear that was eaten by the raccoon. Holy fuck. Absolutely incredible. If you're the parents of this young lady, like the biological parents, how do you recover from that? I mean, Jesus, you lose your kid. Everybody hates you because you allowed a raccoon to eat a baby's face. How the fuck does that work out? How defective of a soul do you have to be when that happens? Josh says, did the baby have delicious finger syndrome? Which is a quote from an old joke from the old radio show days. Yes, I think it was a similar story where the raccoon or some animal ate the kid's hand. Meth raccoon is the sequel to Cocaine Bear, says Nick. Chris says, I remember that story. I don't. I wasn't here then. Incredible. All right. I want to share with you. Let's see. Where am I in this show? Okay. The story of Spencer Lee. Now, I didn't hear of Spencer Lee until Friday. The only way I knew Spencer Lee was because when I was at Bosco's, Dougie of the Dougie tandem, Dougie is a wrestler or was a wrestler. The whole family wrestled. I mean, I'm not kidding you. They would, Doug taught Dougie and Lindsay to wrestle, the kids. And Lindsay was one of those kids who would beat the shit out of the boys. And she wrestled. Doug, the big Doug, taught Lindsay how to wrestle. And she would, the boy she was wrestling, school-age boy, was all, I got to wrestle a girl. And Doug would say, I'll give you $20 if you make him cry. So she would like humiliate him and rub his fucking face in the mat, and she'd get 20. Pay me, Dad. It was great. Great stories. It actually happened. So Dougie comes around the corner at Bosco's, goes, oh my God, Spencer Lee lost. I can't believe it. I go, who's he? Holy shit. And he went to Iowa, and he is like the greatest collegiate wrestler that has ever wrestled. Like, no shit. And for 3 years leading up to Friday, he was the national champion at 126 pounds. And he won 3 years ago. He won 2 years ago. He won last year, and he's expected to win again. And but he lost. And that never happens. He loses in the semifinals of the Wrestling National Championships. Now, typically, parents of wrestlers, like Olympic style wrestling, amateur wrestling, they're not normal. They're usually extremely competitive. They don't just sit there and go, oh, well, he lost. They lose their shit, usually. And the mother of this dude, Spencer Lee, is an alternate for or at least was, I don't know if she is now, she's older now, alternate for the Olympic team in judo. Combat sport also, and extremely competitive. And in fact, let me start by showing you a video of Spencer Lee prior to this match that he lost. Okay? So what you have here is Spencer Lee telling a story about his mother and how competitive she is and her abilities. So audio check, video check. Here you go. It's a great story.
And she was bringing me something. I remember I was in the room, and she was bringing me something. I think I had to go from practice to practice, and she was bringing me like a snack. And she walks in judo you do barefoot, right? So she takes off her sandals, she walks in the room, whatever, and we're taking a drink break or whatever. Everyone's just like sitting around talking, relaxing, ready to get ready for the next part of practice. And I just start messing with her, just like throwing her like judo, wrestling's hand fighting, well, the grip fighting. So you're grabbing, and I'm like moving, like her messing around, and all of a sudden I just launch her. Like I slammed her hard, and she's 4'11", 106 pounds or whatever, and I'm a 26 pounder in high school, and I freaking slammed her. And my coaches were like, oh my God, he just freaking slammed his mom. My mom's, she was in her 40s then. Actually, maybe she was 50 years old. I put her down hard, and she's tough. She's been thrown her whole life. That's all judo is, and she stayed on the ground. She's like, it was on, So I dove on her, and I'm trying to break her guard. She's sitting down like that. I'm trying to throw her legs by, and next thing I know it, I'm wearing like just a t-shirt. She's grabbing my shirt and hooking me around with her legs, and all of a sudden, next thing you know it, I see her legs like flip around my head, and she whips me, and I flip, and next thing my arm's straight. She's got me in an arm bar. I'm freaking tapping, like in front of my entire high school team. I just got tapped out, and the whole team's like, oh, Spence, you got tapped out by your mom. She gets up, and she's like, don't mess with me, and just like walks off the mat like it was nothing. And so, yeah, she's awesome.
I kind of wish I had seen this before this match. I think I would be rooting for Spencer Lee to win, because that's a pretty great story. I love that story. I slammed my mom hard. Him describing that, I can just picture that type of competitive fire erupting. Like, I'm going to kick his ass. Okay. Now, that brings us to Friday night. This dude loses. You're going to see him get pinned, and then that's it. Now, watch what mom does. Okay, let me make sure I got it here. Okay, here we go.
He's looking for the fall. If he just holds...
I can't hear anything. Nope. Sorry.
He's looking for the fall. If he just holds him here, he's going to pull one of the biggest upsets in NCAA wrestling history. No one would have expected this. Oh, my goodness.
He's not going to get off his back. Not going to be able to.
He did it.
Stepped across right there.
And he's looking for the fall. He's looking for the fall.
The unthinkable!
Cathy, an alternate for the U.S. Olympic judo team, and her glasses did not survive that match.
Oh, my God. Look at her.
That's unfortunate to see, but this is what happens here.
So goddamn pissed off. She destroys the glasses and throws them down. Look at how pissed off she is. Oh.
Stop the throne! Spencer Lee's mom, Cathy.
Look at her. Look at that. That is intensity. Jesus. I mean, she's even wearing a grandma sweater. Okay? If I am walking down the street and I see her wearing that getup, I'm going to the other side of the street.
U.S. Olympic judo.
Look at that face. You can't believe it. And then she probably just broke this person's arm.
Glasses.
Oh, no. She's upset.
Did not survive that.
And then to be able to crumple up glasses like that, you'd think that there'd be all sorts of damage to her hand from that.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, God, is she
what
pissed.
Happens here, Jim?
Yeah.
There's so much at stake here.
Oh, throws him down. I love her forever.
Where's the poop?
Oh,
Seriously.
what? What am I watching here? What just happened? Where's the poop? Chris says, holy shit. Ryan says after that, Cathy went full Karen at a local Dunkin' Donuts. Wow. Where's the poop indeed? Shoo. Well, there we go. I don't know. What do you do when you're done with your wrestling career? You know? I don't know if he has any more time left. I mean, what, 4 years, right? So I don't know if he wrestles anymore. A lot of these athletes are not like especially when it comes to like wrestling. It's not you may have a hard time making a career out of it unless you get like a bunch of sponsors and you wrestle on the U.S. Olympic team. Maybe that would be cool. Well, I'll tell you what, the U.S. Olympic team, you want to make sure you get Spencer Lee on that team. All right. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And then can you imagine the amount of FaceTime that the mom is going to get? Let's kind of look in our crystal ball to the future. If Spencer Lee is an Olympian and mom, if he happens to lose, Jesus, I'm all for it. I want to get her on the show. I would sit and watch that. Because I've never really watched amateur wrestling. The only thing I've ever watched of amateur wrestling was when Rulon Gardner beat that Russian like decades ago. The Russian bear who never lost. Chris says there's always a wrestler from Iowa on the Olympic team. Yeah. Did you ever see that film with Steve Carell called Foxcatcher? And I think Channing Tatum was in it or something like that. Oh, my God. You got to see that movie. Unbelievable. About that kook, something DuPont. That rich fucking guy. Very, very unbelievable. Strange story. Steve Carell played a hell of a part in that. Tyler says he'll be on the first ever U.S. Olympic WWE team. Yes, from the dumbest sports take that was ever uttered by Joey Williamson. Chris Jericho's, I think there's some credence to Chris Jericho's statement that wrestling should be an Olympic sport. Think about it. It's all theatrical. They have judges like in figure skating. Dumb. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Johnson Carpet One Discount Outlet. Go there, Granville, Michigan, behind Little Caesars. Bang on the door. Get some carpet, flooring, whatever type. Hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank. They sell it all cheaper than anyone in the entire state of Michigan. Say my name, save an additional 10% on the already incredibly low-priced, unbelievably stocked Johnson Carpet One discount outlet. How do they do this? Well, they have a big space to fill, and they fill it with stuff they buy on the cheap because they buy so much. Doesn't make it cheap. It's the best-selling brands you can find anywhere. The most popular styles of any type of flooring. And they put it up there, and then you buy it. That's it. Nothing fancy. Johnson Carpet One discount outlet. Say my name. Save an additional 10%. Say my name. Bosco's Pub. I'll be there tonight. Bosco's Pub in Hudsonville, Michigan. Go there for the burgers. I think we still got some corned beef left over. You can get a Reuben wrap. Thank you, Bosco's Pub, part of Terra Square. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot, 616-457-0500. If you want to get a pool installed in the backyard this summer, this is who you call. Either Tim or Bree's going to answer the phone. Say, Eric Zane reached out to me, talked to me on the podcast, said I should reach out about getting a pool in the backyard. What do I do? They'll help you. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot, also a gigantic selection, biggest in Michigan in one space, selection of hot tubs. Anywhere. Go there to the store on Chicago Drive between 8th and 12th on the south side of the street, eastbound, on blue awning on top of the building, and go in, check out the hot tubs that they have for sale. They also service hot tubs and pools. If you have any problems, maybe you need a new filter installed or whatever it is, something wrong with a hot tub, they'll fix it. And a vast selection of all the chemicals you will need for the pool and any type of pool supplies you need, all at one place. Jennison Pool and Spa Depot. As always, I love Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. My friend Top Jimmy, Fast Jimmy, said, do they have loaner cars there for free? I go, yes, of course they do. 616-532-6600. Early bird drop-off, late bird pickup. Get a loaner car. Best place to get your vehicle repaired in the entire world. Dare I say. I love them so much. Don't take my word for it. Look at the Google reviews on their website. ER Vines. That's ervines.com. Batting last in the lineup, Joe Martinez from A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Absolutely spectacular. Start thinking about the AC getting tuned up. You have to do this. You don't do it, you run the risk of a breakdown during the summer. Breakdown! Go ahead and give it to me. You don't want that. Get that thing tuned up, cleaned, ready to go for the cooling season. Schedule now. Reach out, 616-516-8579. When you get there, or when he gets there, or if it's either Jason or David, and they do what they have to do, they're going to try to get you to sign up to be on a schedule. Furnace tune-up in the cold months, AC tune-up in the warm months. Do that. You're saving money. Trust me. You're getting it cheaper, and this is something you should see these people twice a year. This is not negotiable. Otherwise, you're going to be a dickhead and wake these people up like I did when I didn't take care of my shit, okay? And then you got an after-hours service call, and they hate you. They'll do it, but they'll hate you, and they're going to bend you over the piñata. 616-516-8579. On the Patreon, we got to talk about the news anchor who passed out. Oh, my God. Yeah. She's there doing like the weather, and all of a sudden her eyes cross, and she's down for the count. We'll also replay the Grape Lady, because why not? And we'll replay Bertation's Lady. And then I think there was a black dude. Same thing. I'm going to go and find them all. I will not pull up the video of the news lady getting shot to death by the psycho. My God. Asshole of the day Friday was the Bible school predator. Your asshole of the day is brought to you by TC Paintball. Who's it going to be? Raccoon Chick's mom and dad? or Buster Murdaugh? It's got to be Raccoon Chick's mom and dad. Right? Idiots. Poor thing. It's your asshole of the day, brought to you by TC Paintball. As always, you've been a spectacular audience. Trash Panda Parents sounds even better. For Bruce, O'Neill, Benny the One-Eyed Wonder Dog, the NFK, and Daisy. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here, making this show possible. Excuse me on the early finish, but I got to go voice track for Big 101.3. Thank you, folks. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Lowe's knows how to get your lawn ready for spring. And right now, you can get up to $20 off select Scott's Triple Action Fertilizer. Plus, get a Cobalt 40-volt 15-inch string trimmer or leaf blower. Your choice, $149, only at Lowe's. Get set for spring. Visit us in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 3/9 through 3/22. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.